Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into the architecture behind a really brilliant new kind of app. One that's designed to be a true second brain. So the big question is, how do you actually build a digital mind? Well, let's find out.
So let me start by asking you a question. What if your phone actually had a memory? And I don't just mean storage space. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Most of us have that digital junk drawer, right? Just thousands of photos, screenshots, notes. It's impossible to sort through. But what if your phone didn't just store that stuff, but it actually remembered it for you?
Yeah, just imagine an app that doesn't just save a picture, but it understands the context. It gets the meaning. It knows why that photo is important to you right in that moment. That is the whole promise of a digital second brain. And today, we're going to tear down the architecture that actually makes this whole thing possible.
Okay, so what's the secret sauce here? Well, it's an approach called hybrid intelligence, and honestly, it's a way smarter way to build AI. We're moving past this idea of having one single giant all-knowing brain sitting somewhere in the cloud, and instead, we're talking about something way more efficient that lives right on the device in your pocket. So instead of waiting on that one giant, kind of slow AI in the cloud, this hybrid approach think of it like a team of smaller, specialized AIs that all live right on your phone. And the advantages? Oh, they're huge. First, it's incredibly fast. Second, your data stays private, right where it belongs. And maybe best of all, the whole experience can be deeply, deeply personalized just for you.
All right, so let's actually build this digital brain, piece by piece, from the ground up. And the very first thing we're going to need? A pair of eyes. In this system, they call that the perception layer.
Now, this layer has a really simple job. It's a fact finder. It's all about what's called deterministic perception, which, is just a fancy way of saying it doesn't guess, it doesn't imagine things, it just identifies exactly what is literally in the picture. And the really crucial part? This all happens right on your device, which means it's super fast and totally private.
So, you might be asking, how does it stay so efficient? Well, it's a clever three-step process. First up, it isolates the main subject, separating it from all the background noise. Then, it creates a focused region of interest around that subject, and only then does it run the heavy-duty stuff like text recognition, but just on that one important area. By not wasting time analyzing the entire image, it saves a ton of power and time. It's really smart.
Okay, so our app can see now. That's layer one. But honestly, sight without memory, that's just a bunch of data, right? To build a real brain, we need to connect those facts to what they actually mean, to you. And that brings us to the job of the second layer, the association layer. This is where the real magic of personalization starts to happen. The whole job of the association layer is to connect the dots. It's there to answer a much, much deeper question. Why does this photo, this note, this thing, why does it matter to this specific person?
And how does it do that? Well, it creates a personal semantic map. The best way to think about it is like a mind map, but for your entire life, built from your own history. See, it doesn't just store words, it stores concepts and understands how they're all related. So for most of us, the word beach might be really close to vacation. But what if you're a marine biologist? For you, beach might be much closer to research. It gets that personal context.
Okay, here's a perfect everyday example of how this works. Let's say you take a picture of a latte. The system's basic knowledge knows, okay, a latte is a type of coffee. Simple enough. But then it checks your personal map, and it sees that for you, the whole idea of coffee is really closely linked to getting work done or being productive. And just like that, boom, that photo has personal context that a generic one-size-fits-all AI would totally miss. So, we've got the eyes to see, and we've got the memory to make connections. Now we need the final piece of the puzzle, the part that actually thinks and tries to understand the bigger story here. And that, my friends, is the cognition layer. So this third layer, its job is to bring everything together. It takes the raw facts from the perception layer and the personal context from the association layer, and it puts them together to answer that one big question. What is the story here? This is the part that generates that human-like narrative from all the little bits of data. There's a line from the source material that just nails this. It says, this layer can infer your intent. Think about that. It can figure out the difference between, say, you taking a photo of a camera because you're thinking about buying it versus just taking a picture of a camera you already own. That is a massive leap in understanding.
And this is really important. This layer has safety features built in. There's something called hallucination control, which basically uses strict rules to stop the AI from just making stuff up. For example, it's not going to guess you're at home unless it has the GPS data to actually prove it. It also generates these really smart, useful tags like #work mode, which makes finding that memory again way easier down the road.
Okay, so we've gone through the 3 layers. We have the eyes, the memory, and the brain. Now, let's put it all together. Let's see how this whole system works in action with a real-world example.
This table really shows where it all clicks into place, so just follow the flow with me. Stage 1, capture. The eyes see a raw image and just identify latte and coffee. Super simple. Stage 2, recall. The memory kicks in. It takes that coffee label and connects it to your personal history, pulling up the concept user likes remote work. Okay, now it's getting personal. Then, stage 3, enrich. It pulls in outside info like your GPS and identifies the venue as Starbucks. Finally, stage 4, think. The brain takes all of that, the latte, your work habits, the location, and creates a perfect, meaningful title, Remote Work Session. We just went from a simple photo to a fully understood memory. It's awesome.
And really, that is the key takeaway here. This architecture isn't building another photo gallery. No way. It's building a system that actually understands the deep semantic relationship, the connection between your content, your location, and your personal history. It gets what it all means to you. It is a genuine second brain.
So, this whole thing leaves us with a really big question to chew on. As AI gets more and more woven into our daily lives, is this kind of thing, this personalized, context-aware memory, going to become a standard feature? I mean, will all of our future apps need to have a memory? It's something to think about for sure. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.